Flight number 1 is done, and flight number 2 is delayed. More on that in a minute. Unfortunately, flight number 2 is delayed 45 minutes. The good news is I have access to the Admirals Club here in Dallas. So we will be going to the Admirals Club in D. That's my favorite. Hopefully it's not overrun with travelers today. We're currently in the C Concourse, which I think is one of the newest here in Dallas. It's quite lovely. Nice signage. It's bright and cheery. While we make our way to the Admirals Club, this would be a great time to like and subscribe. Since you really like what you're seeing, go ahead and hit that reminder bell as well, and you'll be notified of future content. Thanks for that, and let's get to the Admirals Club.
Coming through.
Look out for the shuttle. They will run your over.
They don't stop.
Nope. All right. Let's go into the club. She's got meatballs and what kind of pasta is that? Is that ziti or something? I don't know. Capicola, Kappa, don't have any idea. I got the gluten-free chicken, jerk chicken, Caribbean jerk chicken salad, and some fruit. Kudos to the Admirals Club. They have a nicely labeled selection of gluten-free items, and those like that, which are filled with gluten. So those of us who can't have it can sell some food. Let's see how the Caribbean jerk chicken is. And wrap up my early dinner at the Admirals Club with a double espresso, shot of vanilla. Yum. Highly recommend it when your flight is delayed. So thick and yummy. All done at the Admirals Club, and time to head back to the C Concourse. They changed the gate from D back to C, so we're going back to where we came from. You never know when you're gonna make a single serving friend. Mr. Blue Coat down there, I don't think it's from here, so we're helping him get to the C gates, which is where we're going. Doing well, how are you?
Good, thank you.
First class seat 1A this evening. Hopefully my special meal was successfully transferred as we changed gates. Stay tuned and find out next. Hanging out in the jet bridge, there were a couple of pre-boarders. A lady looked like she had a broken foot. Looked like she was in lots of pain. So we're waiting for the pre-boarders on the jet bridge. Successfully seated in first class 1A. Pretty lovely. Let's check out the seat. Recline button. And the tray table. It's an interesting perspective when you're sitting in the first row, which I've done before, but not on a plane that's of this size. And the people just keep coming and coming. And we've been sitting here for 15 minutes, probably 20 minutes, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
Boarding is complete. Flight attendants secure the cabin for departure.
Lots of people. The in-flight service has begun with hot nuts. Much better than cold nuts. You don't really want those cold nuts. The warm are definitely better. We've been warned that these are hot, so we can let them cool off just a little bit. Oh, and a Coke Zero, by the way. I was thinking about getting like a margarita, but I'm kind of sleepy. And I think a adult beverage at this point would just kind of knock me out, blunt my experience. So we don't want that. So good. Just the right amount of salty. Looks like we got beef short rib, mac and cheese, lava cake, and a sorbet, I think, with some crackers. And over on the gluten-free side, looks like we got chicken and a succotash maybe, a salad, fruit roll, and a cookie. Let's start with the chicken. It's very tasty. Could use a little bit of pepper, but other than that, it's pretty good. Some sad pineapple. But not bad. My gluten-free dinner came with a seeded dinner roll. Let's try that. No butter. Can't do butter. It's a little dry. I could dip it in the jus that came with the chicken, so. And I drank all my Coke Zero. It's really dry. I have to find something to dip it in. That's some pretty clear evidence that the short rib and macaroni and cheese was delicious. Destroyed. You need to break open the chocolate lava cake. We'll have the grand reveal. Hopefully, it's lava. Maybe it's not lava. Oh, what's... Not chocolate lava cake, just a gooey mousse in the center. And then these things are a beet puree and something unidentified.
Mystery Tang.
So, all in all, that is a pretty nice first-class meal, I'd say. Especially for a flight less than 3 hours. Last but not least, the chocolate chip cookie. This is gluten-free and vegan, so no milk, so that's good for me. Let's try it out. I was expecting dense and crunchy. It's soft and fluffy. Oh, that's really good. I gotta get the label on that thing. Oh, that cookie is amazing. That's one of the best gluten-free things I've had in a very long time. As I say, OMG, it's gluten-free chocolate chip cookie. That's the best thing on this plate, by far. Wow, that was really good. All in all, that was an excellent dinner. I'm super happy with all of the food American has provided today. Our flight attendant, I believe his name's Jason, is also fantastic. Very friendly, personable. Stopped and chatted a little bit. Yeah, it's been a fantastic day. Had a little bit of delay getting up into the air on our second flight, but I guess it's not completely unexpected. In the winter, if you watch my live streams, you've been seeing the misery map that I like to show every week. Seems like a lot of weather this winter.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to be the first to welcome you to Orlando, where the local time is 11:37 p.m.
It's Sunday morning. We arrived about 11, I think it was 11:45 last evening. No, 11:15. It was 11:45 last evening. Our flight attendant in first class, Joseph, was excellent. Very friendly, very personable, great service. He hustled and served everybody in first class. I think the flight time was like an hour and 45 minutes, so he busted it pretty good. And it was excellent. My wife had the beef short rib with some pasta, and I had the gluten-free chicken meal, and both of those were really good. So those were probably the highlights of the day. Frankly, the entire day was pretty fantastic. I really enjoyed American. Sometimes it's the little things. The first flight, you get the full can of soda. I mean, that seems to be not typical in my experience in the last couple of years. Something small like that was pretty sweet just for regular economy. And then the meals in first class with our upgrade were amazing. So all good there. The only complaint I would have about yesterday is the baggage service. If you're coming to Orlando, you're probably going to be here with a whole bunch of people, a bunch of time, so you're going to check a bag. Expect a long wait for baggage. I think our baggage was about 50 minutes by the time it finally came out of the chute. I've been here, I think, 3 different times now, and every time with a different airline, and it's taken about that long. So apparently that is just the typical time. I think I've talked enough, and so I'm going to wrap up and say to everyone out there, happy travels. I'll catch you next time.